Hello everyone and welcome back to more for the 2023 Imperium Cup for Dune Imperium, the Rise of Ix and Immortality expansions. I'm host and commentator BlackShadow, and we have made it to the knockout stages, and we're continuing our coverage of the first round of the brackets. Here's a look at them so far. We're going to be covering Match G today, possibly the tastiest of the entire lot here. Heretic, Captain West, Daze, and Vaseline, all very strong, accomplished players going at it here in this knockout match. It should prove to be a good one. Probably a quick one as well. A couple of these players are known to be pretty speedy. So that's going to give me some fun and games on the course of this video, but it is part of the course. Just a quick reminder of the format. So all of these players are players that finished 5th and 6th in their respective groups, as well as a few fastest losers. There are none of those in here. All the winners of this match, these 11 games, plus the 3 highest scoring second places, will find themselves in through to the second knockout bracket, playing those that finished 3rd, 4th, and obviously who progresses from the situation. It's all bracketed out. It does mean that the focus of the games definitely changes, and the fact that it's no longer about groups, no about scoring points. It is simply about finishing first place and guaranteeing yourself through. Getting through and finishing second is going to be hardly a guarantee to know that you're going to get through at this point. So it puts a lot more focus on winning matches, stopping people getting ahead, a lot more battling back, that sort of thing. So let's have ourselves a look at the players today here. We're going to start off with Heretic, who didn't come 6th place in Group N. Here's a look at that table. It was only just as well. It was a very, very close finish for the Heretic here. If Tatcha Spoon had found one more point, Heretic would be out of the competition right now, but just about squeaked through in 6th, though with no actual match wins to his belt. It's a position I can kind of appreciate with Heretic. I'm in a similar spot myself, having qualified through without actually having won any actual matches. To be fair, Heretic played pretty solid all things. All of his games, scoring between 8 and 10 points. Tesia Vernius, Ilban, and Hundro twice, but never quite managing to force any victories. Losing out on a couple of spice tie breaks here and there, which will be definitely a little bit on the annoyance side. But again, only just holding out for the 6th spot here. So I think Heretic's going to come to this one with a point to prove. He's been around the blocks for a while, though. Definitely noted veteran of the game, especially of XMO as well. So even though he didn't have like a particularly strong group stage, still managed to squeak himself through, and he'll feel like that he's got a chance. But he's going to want to really get a win on the board, certainly in this match here, to just kind of get that off his back and start making his course through the knockout stages. Captain West finished himself 6th place in a very competitive Group B, which was topped up by the Grudy Girl, but also a couple of decent players in here, Fuik, Federico, Valen as well, who has made their way through to the second round in victory in Match F. Captain West was a fairly solid 6th place, however, getting the win on the board, unable to force any further up the table, which you feel maybe a little bit disappointed in. Had chances to do that over the course of the groups, but, you know, still played pretty solid. Starting off the competition very well with a win in the first round as the Baron Harkonnen, but kind of just slipping away as the tournament went with 2nd and 3rd place, and then finishing off with a very frustrating 4th place, step playing as Prince Rumble, funnily enough, in the final game, and only managing to get a point from that. So we'll be a little disappointed. West is definitely a solid player, though. You know, loves his get agent actions on the board, plays very fast as well. But I feel like this is a game where maybe they might opt to kind of take not necessarily a backseat as such, but I think they're better off when they're kind of reacting to the game a little bit here and trying to find little niches here and there to try to occupy and take advantage of other people's mistakes. I think generally seems to be a good modus operandi for them. But they'll feel they're pretty confident coming to this game that they can definitely give themselves a bit of a good chance here. Perhaps maybe needs a little stroke of something here and there, but who knows? You know, a bit of luck never hurt anyone, did it? The Daze finished 5th in Group L. And again, this is another competitive group. It was a pretty wide open group as well, all things being honest here. Maybe a little bit disappointed, again, to have not quite got higher, but just couldn't quite force themselves any further up the table. Was also not doing too great on the average points rating. After a pretty brutal Week 3 game, where they only scored 4 points as Duke Leto, although had a pretty solid competition other than that, but that really, really dragged them down, preventing them to get themselves into the top 4. Daze's 2 best results in the group's fixtures were actually playing as Paul Atreides, interestingly, winning in week 1 and then coming second in week 4 to a rampant Hundro. And maybe they'll look to do something similar again, you know, kind of sticking to a more card building, deck building sort of strategy here. It's not so easy to do that, though, when it comes to knockouts, where you're kind of forced to interact with the table a lot more. You can't just kind of try and settle for second places and score 3 points. Like, you've got to actually start winning those games. So I think Daze is going to need to kind of be probably pretty incisive here, and is going to need to probably look to try to take the ball by the horns, would be my suggestion for them, because this is a pretty tough game to be coming into. And then finally, Lord Vaseline coming in through 5th in Group I. This group was heavily dominated by BlackShadow in Sneaker Dead, who sewed up qualification to the quarterfinals very early in this one, leaving this guy again, Amazing VP, to get through to the second round. I believe this guy again actually is going to be playing the winner of this match in the second round, actually, funnily enough, which meant things were quite wide open in below, and Vaseline just about doing enough to hold on to qualification, edging out Lunatic and Evo Gomez, who made a late charge of it at the end of the competition. But as you can see here, the points were really well spread. Vaseline just about holding on, courtesy of his victory in the 5th week with Hundro in a very close match. It was a pretty solid run, to be fair, for Vaseline. He'll feel pretty aggrieved that he didn't get higher in the competition, in the standings here, and finding his way into a top 4, I guess. There was another game, the other game he played in week 5 is Leto. Finished with 10 victory points and 10 spice, but finished 4th because everyone else finished at 11 points. A crazy game, that. And will feel a little bit aggrieved he didn't pick up at least a couple other points there and found a way to force himself into the top 4. So he's got it all to do here, unfortunately, in having to come through the beginning knockout stage. And again, this is a tough draw for him as well. You know, especially if Heretic and Captain West, both very strong players. So it's going to be tough work here for Vaseline. And I think the worry for Vaseline coming to this, if they kind of fall behind in this, I would be a little bit worried about them managing to make up the ground. Because like Heretic especially could be a really strong front runner as well. So I think this could be very important for him to kind of try and get his nose in front if possible, and just try and keep himself in this one. But we shall see. Alright, getting ourselves ready for the match here. Player Captain West finds himself in the first seat, which means it will be the Heretic to pick first in the blue seat. This is not our first attempt at picking leaders. It's a bit awkward. Anyways, so let's go have a look at the opening row and text here. Some decent stuff going on, actually. Scientific Breakthrough, pretty juicy card. People do like this a lot. Chance obviously get to the end and just turn into a victory point. Just pays for itself. Very solid. Usurp's pretty decent, potentially, but it is expensive. It's not particularly well regarded in competitive circles. Imperium Row is not bad. Opulence is a very strong card, and someone might consider revealing early just to try and pinch that if they've got a way to get to 6, maybe. If they kind of pull a weird sort of hand. Tessie Humanity is also very strong. Fopter's nice. But might not be too much change outside that. Other than that, though, tech-wise, we've got some decent stuff going on. Shuttle Fleet, very strong. Obviously, the sooner you get this, the better. It is pricey, but can definitely pay for itself in the long run. Detonation devices might influence some heavy combat strategy. Explosive Facility is also a decent tech, but it has kind of fallen out of favor recently, I have definitely noticed. As far as leaders concerned, a couple of normal suspects. Baron and Beast find themselves going to be picked probably pretty early. Other than that, though, it's going to be kind of like sussing as you go. Yuna maybe in first position. Maybe you'll see like Ekaz as well. I'm not entirely sure, but Ekaz and both Helena on the row, which means there might be like a Helena trying to grab Opulence, for example. You might see stuff like that. We shall see. So Heretic goes for the Baron, deciding that he wants to take a little bit of niche. There's no other particular strong faction influence leaders there. So I'm going to take him in 4th, even though maybe Beast is better in 4th, but it's fine. So Vaseline takes Beast in 3rd, which is standard. Ekaz taken in 1st position, so he's got eyes on Tessie Humanity. It's a good card, and then I do think we'll see Helena in 2nd, and we do indeed do so. Okay, then. Play could be very fast here, and I'm going to do my damnedest to cover this as effectively as I can, but I make no guarantees. This could go quickly. Baron takes the Emperor instead of the Fremen. Interesting. Maybe because he's got Beast ahead of him, figures might want an easier faction. He probably is right. Okay, here we go then. Off to the races. So, Ekaz starts off with Wealth. Happy to give away Smuggling. It is Victory Point Skirmish, though there is no money in it. Looks like Ekaz is going to go for an early Trash via Mentat here. Helena's got an interesting choice if she wants to go fold space or not. If she doesn't, it opens up the chance for Beast to go smuggle Swordmaster round 2. And so decides that that's got to be blocked here, I think, and is going to go ahead and smuggle it. I think this is totally fine. Especially as Helena, you're okay with this. I think this is totally fine. Which means Beast will probably go forward space. And then Baron is probably going to get able to Hardy Warriors here. It's an interesting thing. Back in Rise of Ix, you pick Baron in 4th. It was very unlikely to get the Hardy Warriors. But nowadays, it's very different. And look at this. Beast just goes still suits instead. He's after some conspiring, I think, here. I think he's after experimentations to, like, Great Flat, and he's going to look to go conspiring. So does Baron Hardy Warrior, or does he fold space? It's a victory point conflict. I think I would probably prefer fold spacing. You'd rather keep the threat of Hardy Warriors more so than anything. Also, you don't have the Fremen bump, so you going Hardy Warriors is not going to get you to Siege. So I think I actually prefer going fold space here and just threaten it. Like, maybe if the next one's, like, you know, I think this is better. I prefer this. Well, as Mentat has noted, so he's going to look... Oh, he finds a Seek Allies card. Well, that's pretty nice. If he gets access to it, though, which I suspect he won't. I suspect Helena's going hard... Oh, no, she doesn't go Hardy Warriors. She's going to keep on to Seek Allies. Interesting. So, Ekaz is going to have the opportunity to jam it in at Hardy Warriors. Helena Carfax finds Charisma. This is all going in. I think you've got to put this all in whatever you do here. I don't like 2. Beast is just going to go base in, so eyeing up Great Flat, Conspire next round is the plan here. Baron's got his ring, but can't use it. It's either Arrakis, or he's got to go to base in, or make his way to Negotiation. Which only gets him to 4 Persuasion. So I guess he's probably going after Thopter. So Ekaz has the opportunity to go Hardy Warriors and absolutely bomb this. If he does and puts it all in, he's almost always good. Unless Helena's doing something weird with the intrigue. It's possible she might have drawn, like, a tactician or something, but it's not likely. And besides, if you go Hardy Warriors, you put it all in, and she used an intrigue to beat you, at least you're getting a water back. So I don't hate that. Unless you want to go Haga Basin. I imagine he probably doesn't. Yeah, it's Hardy Warriors. You bang it in. And what happens, happens. You either get a point, or you're at least getting your water back. And Helena's got to pay for it. I feel like this can't be a bad move. So, Helena's going to reveal for 2. Will she even bother picking a liaison? I don't know. Beast is in a similar position. Beast with 2 as well. Baron with 4, I assume is going... I thought he was going to go Thopter, but he might not bother. Oh, Helena does opt to go for Charisma early. So she goes for Test here. Interesting. So Ekaz now knows he's good. There is definitely a trash spot for that. So Beast is going to have all the water here. He goes just for the liaison. Baron, I imagine, is going Thopter here with 4. Fufia's turned up on the row. Very nice card, but can't get it. So I imagine he'll go Thopter. It's a nice card to have round 1. That's always that's a card that's going to make things awkward for people. And Ekaz with 3 just goes for the assassination mission with the intention of looking to trash up the coordination later on. So nothing to resolve here. Of course, point for Captain West to start off with. Water for Beast. Kind of an expensive spice for Helena for the 2 troops. But there you go. Trying to, like, encourage, like, try and get Beast to put in more, but didn't buy it. Second round is Carfax. So that's exactly what Baron wanted to see. That is exactly what Baron wanted to see. That is a huge result for him, that. Juicy, juicy stuff. It's just see what's going to happen here. So the players know that unless they go Fold Space and Hardy Warriors, they are not going to be able to stop Baron shipping here. So Helena decides not to even worry about it. So Baron's going to be able to just pump in Hardy Warriors and then go shipping here, which is very strong. And no one's going to be looking to stop him for some time. So this is a pretty significant edge Heretic's going to get here early. Fufia put aside. Makes sense to me. Curious to see what she's going to do, though. She doesn't have enough actually to pay for that. She's have to reveal now. So curious to see what she's going to look to do. Bumps up, interestingly. Doesn't bump down. So, Beast decides he has to at least stop Baron from both Hardy Warrioring and getting shipping, which is totally reasonable. So, at least got to cut that out. I guess Beast figures he's got the extra water, so he can still do this and still go Great Flat, which is definitely reasonable. Ikaz looking to see what's in Helena's hand. He's redrawn Assassination Mission, but he's got a problem here. How does he's in some trouble here. He's going to have to get the Tech Negotiation, or he's going to hope to get another card so he can put it down, which he does find. So very fortunate. This is all going in here. He feels he's got both swords. He's got to put at least one in, you'd think. Or is he going to try to... The problem is he's got very little access. Goes for Jessica, so more swords. Maybe he's got intentions maybe of picking up some grafting somewhere. Helena decides to Mentat it now. Interesting. I don't know what you're looking for the redraw here, though. Apart from another persuasion so you can get Foof here, I guess. So you can still use diplomacy, which is what's going on here. So Beast has got an interesting choice. Could go Great Flat. Could also just bomb it at Carthag, which he does. So he's happy just to hostage the Great Flat here. I think putting in a fourth can't be bad. Just make certain of it. Baron will ship. And then Ikaz has an interesting decision to see what he's going to do here. He can go Basin and Limp, which I imagine is what he's going to do. So that he can trash the Assassination Mission. Yep. And then Helena, I guess, just goes Still Suit. I don't know what Helena's going to do. Could go Still Suits. Could go Wealth, maybe. I think Eva's fine. It's interesting he decided to bump up the smuggling twice and didn't immediately cash that in. That was an interesting choice. I don't know if I like that or not. Helena's going to put them both in. So that's bad news for both of them. Beast is going to reveal for free. Shout Out Mapes is on the opening row as well, which is nice. Gene Manipulation's taken. I think I would have preferred Shout Out Mapes for Beast. I just think this is a really good card for him. You can just really boss battles, put in loads, and then sometimes retreat them. And Baron reveals for 4 and rips it and finds him with power. There is no justice. Ikaz is going to get hold of Foreign Politics. Helena's going to get hold of Fufir. And that's going to be it for the combat, I assume. He also takes that as well, which makes sense. And we're going to move on here. So Beast is going to win the conflict for that. And just a loose spice for red and green, which is not what either of them were wanting. But we will move on. As I say, play's going to move very quickly here. So don't expect me to be able to give you the most in-depth analysis, unfortunately. Because by the time I've started looking at something, they've already moved on. You know, I know they're quick players. Some people are quick players. I don't really care about this. You know, there's not a contest of speed here. But we're going to rock on pretty fast. Baron's very happy, by the way. Baron is very happy about this. Next up is Cloak and Dagger. He's looking for Hardy Warriors access, and my god, did he find it. Well, this is carnage coming here. Hardy Warriors shipping is all incoming here. He's got Weber power. He can get the spacing lights. There's a lot happening here. Heretic, I think, might come out with an early advantage here. Beast has drawn pretty brutal. He's drawn so brutal, he's not found any mining access. Wow. Well, that's the problem when you decide not to go Great Flat when you can, is that occasionally you will draw a fresh hand and have no access. It's rare. You're going to feel annoyed about it, but that's the risk you take. You know, 4 or 5% of the time, you don't draw access. And when you don't draw access, you have a problem. What does he do here? Very difficult spot now for Beast here. Beast might feel forced to go like Selective Breeding and trash out a Dagger or something here. He could also go Hardy Warriors again, just to block Baron going there, but he's just going to go Arrakis and dig. Finds his ring, which means he's not using Diplo here. I think I would have preferred Selective Breeding and trashing out the one of your Daggers, personally speaking. Baron should just Hardy Warriors and barrel this, right? Get Master Stroke off. Shipping's in no danger. Take Spacing Alliance. Up and down. Ready for Swordmaster next round. Seems the way to play for me for Baron. Hardy Warriors and just bang it in. But he decides not to. He decides to go for the base and spice, realizing that Beast probably doesn't have access. He's gonna hold off on, I guess he figures, oh, he can also just ship and just let Weather Power get his lines as well, so he doesn't actually do this. He's after Shuttle Fleet, is what he's doing. He's after the spice, so he's going to go up and down and grab Shuttle Fleet, and he's just going to absolutely dominate faction tracks here. Wealth for Ekaz. Helena grabs the spice, of course. I wonder if she's eyeing up maybe highlining here to get hold of shipping access. Might be. Hardy Warriors for Beast. He's just going to card it in here. He's got double daggers, but if Helena does decide to highline, he can just retreat, which is what he's eyeing up. Baron's going to go grab Shuttle Fleet. Ekaz, I'm curious to know what Ekaz is going to do here. I don't know what Ekaz is going to do. He's got 4 persuasion. We'll see. Did he just go Basin again? Get more experimentations done? I don't hate that. He could Mentat, but he's shuffling. I don't feel the best. Kind of curious to see what's going to happen here. I don't know. Although, given the cash is going to give Ekaz his Swordmaster, so, you know, that works itself out. Yeah, that's why he went Wealth to get hold of that. It's fair enough. So that's the question. Does Helena highline here with the intention that this gives her shipping access and gets it away from the Baron? I feel like it's coming. And Beast probably is going to use Economic to pull back here. It looks like that's the way this is probably going. It's got Test as well. It's a consideration, and it's one that I think should be full. It gives you 2 water as well, which is not bad, but it's just gonna go for selective breeding. With Seek Allies in your hand? Don't know about that. Don't know about that. But okay. So, interesting. So it is discard a card or lose a troop. It is officially done in clockwise order. Beast is going to chuck his ring away. Dagger for Baron. Recon for Ekaz. So, looks like Beast is just going to take it down. I really thought that Helena might have considered it, but maybe just felt it was too much of an expense to be worth it for the bump. But 2 intrigues is good here. There's no intrigues out there at all. Would have considered it. Anyways. So Beast is going to take this down here. He's got 2 persuasion. I think he was considering maybe getting like spiritual or something, but decides not to go for anything here. Baron with 3 and the bump, which I assume will go to the Fremen here. Yeah, Heretic looking very strong here. He might just bump the Spacing Guild so he just never has to worry about it. But he should probably just bump a different faction. Get Fremen access. Get access to Siege. Looks good to me. It's a very strong start for Baron here. Very strong start. Maybe a little bit, maybe unfortunate that Beast didn't draw that mining access, and he'll be ruining that for sure. But what are you going to do? Ekaz with an action. Carthag, I don't hate. I don't hate Carthag at all here. You know, get an intrigue. Gives Yellow a coin, but I don't think it's a big deal. But he's more interested in getting the experimentation, which is, I think, you know, he's also eyeing up smuggling. I don't know. I think I'd rather limp in here. You also, if you do this, this gives you options to go conspire yourself. There's definitely a faction you can look to go for. An alliance that you can look to claim probably fairly safely. Depends how you see it. I think Carthag is fine. This is also fine. Smuggling's also fine. Depends how you see it. Just decides to take the smuggle here. Figuring that Baron's never gonna really block him that often. So Helena reveals for 5, taking Stilgar. She didn't really know what she was going to draw. In the Shadows appears, which Ekaz takes instantly. And yeah, we'll move on. Beast could retreat economic here for troops, but decides not to bother. Takes the 2, it takes the throwing bump before even looking. Secret Sisterhood, Bible's Protocol found pretty good. Baron finds illicit dealings, which is very strong here. And we're going to move on. Guildbank Raiders next. It's going to be of interest to Helena and Beast, but neither of them have any garrison. Baron's has got a wealth of choices here. Could have drawn better here, though. He doesn't want to use Thopter. He wants to reveal it. He's got a bit of an issue here. He's got a couple of cards to draw from. I think he's just going to fold space like a faction. Maybe like Wealth or maybe Secrets. He's going to go Steel Suits himself here. Figures there's not a lot of water out there. Beast is going to be uncomfortable with this. Interesting the Baron goes there as well, thinking about it, because he didn't take a Fremen bump. Maybe he feels he can make some work here. Yeah, Ekaz does go Wealth again. Looking to just keep going Mentat as much as possible. Just absolutely spam it. I've noticed that with West, like, in a few games I've played with him, like, he is very happy to just, like, hit Mentat every single time, even if he's not playing as Ilban here. I've noticed this a lot. Helena's got a pretty good hand. She doesn't really want to draw is the problem. Helena's got a choice. She could go shipping. I actually don't hate using just Signet Ring and Diplo, and don't play Thufir and take the intrigue from him this round. But depends if you want to play the... Whoa. She's just going to go Minimic here? Looks like she's just going to take Minimic right now and call it a day. Which I don't hate. So she's going for some... It gives her 6 Persuasion. Cannot get Tessie Humanity. Beast just smuggles. Beast with kind of a tricky hand here. Baron will Sword Master with his ring. Ekaz will Mentat. Where's Helena going with Diplo? Is Helena gonna go Conspiring here? I wonder. Ekaz opts to, wow, interesting. Ekaz opts to go for Dreadnoughts. And doesn't play Scientific Breakthrough. What is he after? That's kind of a weird... Oh, he's, wait, sorry, he's already got his Swordmaster. Sorry. I do apologise. He already got it last round, didn't he? My apologies. This feels bad for Helena not using... She's after for humanity, it feels like. Well, she picks it out somehow. So for humanity is going to be taken here. That's pretty fortunate to have found that. Obviously, had the ring, I guess, which would have helped. But even so, there were worlds where she doesn't find that. Gives up Diplo, though, to do that. Don't know if that's right. Beast will use Gene Manipulation for Mentat. Lets him trash a dagger. He's totally happy with this. Baron with a free action. Imperial Basin looks pretty good. He's got Secret Forces, which is a little difficult for him. Surprised he hasn't played Illicit Dealings to recycle his Intrigue at this point, but gonna keep that on hand. Oh, he's got Insider Shipping. What am I talking about? The problem when players go pretty fast, like it's when Slates plays a little bit slower, like it's a little tricky. So he's gonna get hold of the Spicy. He's got the Specimens and Illicit Dealings here. Picks up Shadowy Bargain, which is pretty good. So yeah, Baron very happy with this, the way this game's going so far. So Research Station's gonna go to Basin, I'm guessing. Unless he fancies the conflict that badly, like Carthag. He's going to get an Intrigue, unless he wants to trash the dagger. But he doesn't need to, because he's got Coordination, so he'll bump down. Trying to work out if Baron's got Gunfopter or not. He likely does. Not guaranteed. He also has 3 Intrigues as well, so Ekaz, it's kind of difficult for him to put in a load of aggression here. He probably just has to limp the Dreadnought and call it a day. And if you're going to do that, I'd prefer going Imperial Basin, personally speaking. If you're going Carthag, you're going there with the intention of probably just getting it all in. Well, he might be getting it all in anyways. He's found Gruesome Sacrifice. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. But it's going to be interesting for Ekaz. He's going to be tied for second here, so Gruesome's coming. Very fortunate draw. So, Ixion Probe for the reveal of Thufir. Very nice. For Humanity is going to be taken. I expect her to cash in... No, it doesn't cash in Specimen. She's after Twisted Mentat, I think. Beast somehow gets to Imperial Basin. I don't quite know how, but he did. Loads of intrigues here. He's going to have to probably play one of them, so just plays the Benny Bump. Poison Snooper's pretty good for him as well. So Baron's going to reveal for 4 in the 3 swords. Does he put the troop in? I don't think I would. I think I would just leave it like that. Do you really want the cash? When you've not used Masterstroke? I think I would prefer holding... I think I'd prefer holding the... I think I would prefer, honestly, holding the troop back because you got Masterstroke still get off at some point. Also, the money's not that big a deal for you. I think I would have preferred leaving it as a tie and leave Ekaz to do something if he really wants the extra 2 coins. But that's just me. The selecting kit taken. Ekaz is going to reveal for 4. He's going to go for plan coupling here, I imagine. And then Beast is going to reveal for 4. Beast might spin here. He's got other memory. Rapid Mobilization found for Ekazbo. It's pretty nice. He does spin and gamble. And some good cards here. Taxi Surgeon. Plan Coupling. Show of Strength's an interesting card for him. He's got Bypass Protocol. He's going to use this probably to grab a couple here. And he does. So he's going to grab... he's going to top deck Talaxu Surgeon, I imagine. He's going to pay 2 spice to top deck it. Only problem with this is that everyone knows you've got it, and if they just go wealth, what are you doing with this? That's the only thing I don't particularly like about that, but okay. Ooh, okay, so he's done it the other way around. He's just going to top deck power play. I was a little bit naughty. It shouldn't really... Yeah, it's a bit backwards. Technically, he's meant to pit power play first. Because it is an atomic action, but players seem to be okay with that. So, Gruesome is noted. Nothing else to be done here. So, Ekaz happy with his work. A couple of coins for Elena. 6 for Baron. And we'll move on. Round 5. Is Trade Monopoly. Garrisons are empty, bar the Dreadnought. Ekaz have got in the shadows and from in politics, so he's ready to rock and roll. Not the best hand outside of that. Baron's got Web of Power. Wants to start using it soon to start getting resources. He's got Gunfopter again, but he's got to get the troops for it. But when no one else is going shipping, like, you know... Like, Baron is definitely favourite to win this game currently. Players have got to do something about this. No. Well, they know he's got that then. Yeah, you cannot use Poison Snooper. Yeah, it's same rules as Paul's Prescience. You have to have cards in your deck to draw. You can't use it to draw fresh. You are not allowed. Loads of specimens sitting up there. I wonder if people are interested in, like, trying to top deck Twisted Mentat or something. I wonder if that's what's going on. Dreadnought number 2 for Ekaz. Has not got detonation devices yet. But obviously he's threatening it. Should be noted, Rapid Mobilization cannot be used to put Dreadnoughts in. Only troops. Pelena's going to selective. She's after some spice buying. She's got a good hand for it. So seems a good time to do it. The dagger will go. Almost certainly here. Might not, though. She's not got a Swordmaster yet. And she's limiting her council access. But decides to do it anyways. Guess your Ixion Probe, that makes it a bit easier to do this. What does Beast want to do here? Does he just go Fold Space just to cut off Baron shipping for a couple of rounds? I don't know. It's round 5. He's got obviously highline concerns to worry about. Double Diplo. Does want to use his ring for 2 troops as well. I don't hate Beast Mentatting here. with the ring. I don't hate it. But he's just going to go ahead and just get in front here. Because it's a good conflict to start getting dudes in on. Baron's going to go Mentat. Or is he going to go High Council for his secret forces? He does. Kaz will go Wealth. Just to get this alliance done and dusted. Helena with 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. She's got 10 persuasion. Nothing really good for going, nothing really good for going Mentating if that was an intention she had, though. Could just play Fufia and call it a day. Might play Test, maybe, but there are some unload cards dotted about. It has less effectiveness. No water. Just going to go ahead and just cash in Smuggling here is also pretty strong. Just to call it a day, get the bump. This looks totally fine. Your faction... The only problem I've got with Helena is her factions currently are in real trouble. Like, she's kind of dying here. She's a couple of times not played Diplos and such. Twice Fufi is not getting played. So there are some issues here. She's just going to jam the Bene Gesserit. Which I don't hate. Oh, that helps find the Fremen bump. That's very, very useful finding that. I think Beast is just going to go Fold Space here. Yeah. Makes sense. So, no Signet Ring for him. Just going to let it sit to the side for a round, which is not ideal. Baron with a couple actions. He's going to use his Fopter here. So, that means red and green lose a troop. What's he after here? Chalmurki? Is he going to maybe rip Detonation away? And deny that to red? That might be worth it. That might be worth it. He might rip Detonation away. Just to deny it. I don't hate the move. But decides he's just going to go Disposal here, which is fine. I think I might prefer Chalmurki, truthfully. Memocorders turns up. Hot property. And if Ekaz wants it, he's going to have to use his liaison to do it. Which is not what he wanted. He wants a piece of this conflict here. Baron has no access to grab it, though. He has no access with Council. Baron is going to continue to harass the Beast here at the Fremen. I don't think he actually has any intentions of taking this alliance. But he's going to harass. I don't think Beast has any serious jeopardy of losing it, should be noted. But we'll see. Baron also just wants the water, so I don't think this is in serious jeopardy, but he will have to secure it. So Ekaz decides to not go for Memocorders because he feels he's got to get these dudes in. Remember, no Detonation yet. Finds Vicious Talents, only worth 2 swords. Helena with the Spice Must Flow. She gets her own Vicious Talents. Same spot as Helena as Ekaz on that. Beast is concerned he's about to lose his alliance. He's very concerned he's about to lose his alliance, but fortunately he's not, because Baron can't get it. That's a lie. That's a lie. Oh my god, Baron's just going Steel Suits. Oh dear. Yeah, Baron's just going Steel Suits here. It's like a staggered triple bump. Yeah, I think his Spice is correct. He was at 8, he went down to 7. I thought it was fine. I could be wrong. Did you take Spice twice? Oh, you did take Spice twice. Yeah, good spot. Yeah, no, I didn't spot it either. If any of you spotted that into the chat and commented on that, well done. Because I didn't spot that. The problem, when players are going really, really fast, stuff gets missed. So Beast is at least going to get shifting allegiances to negate the pain that is about to be felt here, because this alliance is dead. So at least Beast is going to be able to shift away. That's the best he can do, but he's a little unfortunate here, is Beast. Yeah, I'd limp in a troop for an intrigue. Looks pretty good to me. But yeah, this is looking all barren. He's considering secret forces. But I don't see why you'd bother doing that. I mean, I would just limp one in and call it a day. I don't see why you'd secret force this. Kaz will take a bump. He's going to get his point. He's going to get the conflict as well. Where's he bumping Ekaz, do you think? Fremen? Is he going to bump maybe spacing? Because it's just a place he doesn't want to visit too much. Then he can just go Hotline some point, get that point done. I think he's going to go take it with spacing, I would think, but I don't know. So yeah, Beast is going to have to hope he finds shifting a couple of times to get his use out of the Fremen. He's unlucky. This is how it's gone down, but that's the way it goes. He's perhaps thankful that at least shifting's there to make up for it. Best he can do in the situation, but yeah, this looks Baron looking very, very comfortable here. He's still not even Master Stroke, by the way. Reminder, his tokens are Spacing and Emperor. But Baron looking very strong here. Nah, I mean, you could have power played it, but, like, I mean, you're a bit unlucky. You're a bit unlucky, really. That's the way it goes. You got shifting, it's not a disaster. Oh, he's also got finesse. Well, Beast isn't feeling too bad now. 2 hits of shifting and finesse, and it doesn't even matter. So, I think Beast will be very happy with this, actually. That's a huge intrigue to find finesse. Massive, massive find. Yeah, I think Beast can consider a bit unlucky here. War chest found for Baron. Round 6 is Desert Power. The Dreadnought for Red went to Imperial Basin. Get you points in the conflict. Here comes Helena. She's just going to go ahead and just use this to get hold of the Bene Gesserit Alliance. She's not really going to be able to get any down bumps of it right now. She kind of wants to. Again, the speed that people are playing here. So, double bump up for Ekaz. So he's just threatening to go smuggling some point. Interesting to see if everyone blocks it. Helena just auto Swordmasters, interestingly. Finds Bribery. Very strong. So, Fremen bump it is. Beast's in trouble here. Beast needs some help. His hand's also not looking too hot here. I think he might need to go Mentat, or maybe he goes Memo Quarters? Memo Quarters is interesting, because then you need to bump away twice. And you could maybe go for that. I actually think Memo Quarters is not a bad shout here for Beast. Also, you don't really want to let Ekaz have that right now? I don't think so. Vault Space found. You kind of got to keep that. I think, for me, I think I'm going Memo Quarters here. He's going with a Dreadnought? I don't think you can do that when you've not got your Swordmaster. Yeah, Memo Quarters looks good. Use that to go... I would use that to go spacing and threaten that. I'd have preferred doing that with spacing, but he might actually intend to steal that alliance with finesse. Baron will ship. Yeah, I know Beast had access to shipping, but I do prefer him going Memo Quarters here specifically. I think it's a better situation. He's also got potential for Spiceman's Flow. He's at 8 Persuasion. So just a half-decent draw with Fold Space, and he's getting Spiceman's Flow here, which he does need. Here comes the Smuggle for Ekaz. He's kind of beneficiarying a little bit here. He goes for Chow Murky. He's hoping to find something. He does not want to use Rapid here. Uh-oh. Well, Ekaz has got secret problems. He's found plans within plans as well, so he has to use something. He could use Dispatch as a throwaway, or he's just going to use Rapid Mobilization now. And he's just going to bomb this in here. So, he kind of want to use that later on, but that was always a risk. Plans and plans, though, is significant for Ekaz, but it's kind of hard for him to get much value out of that. Helena's going to Ixion probe here. This is interesting. This is going to be a long time till you see for humanity. Oops. Well, she has to go selective now. That was not what... I don't think that's what she was planning to do, but that's what she drew. Finally finds Stilgar, which I guess is what she was looking for. Beast has an action. I don't hate Beast just taking Spice here and setting up for some highliners. Great Flat, Hager Basin, I guess... No? Ooh. Just takes the loose point. Oh, and he finds his Talaxu Surgeon. Well, it's a Spice must flow. I think I would have preferred going Spice there for highlining next round. You do not want to let Baron highline here. But never mind. Baron has had a pretty unobstructed game so far. He's not really been put in any difficulties here. Second Talaxu point is on its way. He's got a couple of friendships to grab. Here comes Secret Forces. He's going to charge a price here. That gets his Master Stroke off as well. So, Beast now no longer is going to get that alliance. Because he figures he's going to get another intrigue off of the... he's doing this... Also, he needs to get Master Stroke off, but also he's getting another intrigue off the Talaxu here. Free Spice for Ekaz. Does he put the Dreadnought in? He kind of has to here. He's kind of forced to respond. I think he's going to bump here because he's got plans within plans. Probably just take spacing. Yeah. So Helena she's got 8. Helena cannot get Spice Must Flow here. So she's just going to go Steel Suits for 2 water. With probable research station plans in mind, is my assumption. Because she's never getting the Great Flat, so she's got to imagine she's looking to go research station next round, which I think is fine. Best you can do in the situation. Does she make sure that she gets hold of this Talaxu point? She should. Spice Must Flow for Beast. Trying to recover here. Baron's going to just go Carfag, probably. No, he Mentats it. He's going to wait to see what Ekaz does. Puts him in position. Don't hate it. Windfall found. Ekaz is trying to look to see if he's got Fopter or not, basically. Just go Secrets. Peddlers is found. He has to hit factions anytime he physically can now. It's an important little fight this actually for Baron. I feel like Baron definitely wants to win this. I don't know how much he's willing to commit to do so, however. We shall see. Interesting choice for Baron. Don't know quite what he's going to do. I guess he'll see what intrigue he pulls later on, but he has got another go. He still got to buy his beetle. Again, this is what happens when you're going really fast. Helena just rips it at 7 or 6, whatever it was, and gets Mahayam. She'll be happy enough with. It's probably not going to get used very much, but who knows? I think Baron's going to go Carfag, and he's going to have a little dickers here and see if he finds like a private army or something. There's a lot of decent combat intrigues out there. But he knows he's going to need at least some, so there's no harm in having a look. He finds refocus. It's not helping him immediately here. So he'll just redraw, which I don't hate. You're going to pull another intrigue here anyway, so, you know, see what you get. Kaz will reveal for a couple of swords. I think Jessica Arrakis might get trashed here, truthfully. But I don't know. Maybe just trash his recon instead. Not a lot of city access in Ekaz's deck, however, is the only issue I've got there. Yeah, Baron's trying to work out if it's worth getting involved here. He's pulled 6, which means he can actually dispose, funnily enough, which I don't think was quite the intention, but he's got it. Let's get rid of that. So, 6 for reveal, plus another intrigue. What does he pull? Anything interesting? Ooh, that's pretty good. Seamless Awaken. He is buckets of spice. He's going to get some more here, so that's just a point. He might use Shadowy Bargain here. I don't know if he's going to use Shadowy Bargain or do you just use Windfall here. He should use 1. He's got 6 to buy, so Recon will go. Presentize is interesting. Like, it's a decent card, I guess, but is it really helping you right now? I don't know. He grabs it because he thinks he might as well. Brown's got to figure out what he wants to do here. I think Windfall, you just play that. Seems fine. You could use Shadowy and just convert that now. But Windfall seems generally wiser here. So Baron's going to settle for 2nd place. Ekaz is going to be up to 7 points here. But I would wager it's getting hard for Ekaz to score now. Like, he's got a friendship at the Fremen. That gets into 8. But then what? He's going to be very reliant on plans within plans is the only problem. So we'll see what happens here. Ward's taken. We'll move on. Imperial Basin it is. Ekaz was not allowed to hold the Dreadnought there. So no free troops. Baron's got Gunfopter. He's got Highliner. Weber Power. He's got all the good stuff here. Beast is just going to ship here. He's got shifting as well. Finesse is there too. Interesting to see what it does. Is the Beast ever going to consider bumping spacing just to take away the spacing alliance? I don't think so. But I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what Beast is going to do here with this bump. He's got Mimic Orders, so he could definitely bump the spacing and hide it. But you think a Baron a lot of the time is just going to go there. I think this is better. Yeah, I like this. You need to start threatening Ekaz here. Remember, of course, this is just a knockout game. There's no points here, so winner goes through. And a couple of 2nd places. So yeah, Beast looking to see. Has he got shifting? Well, he's got shifting and then some. Unless Ekaz can magic a double bump here, this alliance is toast. He can save it. He could dispatch to Wealth his In the Shadows, which gives him that, and then discard a card to then rebump the Empress. So it is savable here. And he might consider doing it. If he thinks it's under that much threat. But it's awkward. The problem is, you know he's got shifting, but he's also got Mimic Orders, so Eva's good for Beast here. Baron's up anyways. Does Baron just insta-highline here? There's not a lot of ways for Ekaz to just make spice on the go here. Counter Dispensation wouldn't be active anyways, so he might opt to do something else first, but what? Gunfopter's +3 swords, but it's not doing much else. Research Station you could do, I guess. Weber Power I feel like you want to reveal to like help you get Emperor and Fremen bumps here. So he might play Fopter to Research Station anyways. Or maybe he goes Great Flat. No, Research Station is good enough. So he's going to try and go for it all here, is Baron. 2 points for the win. Point for, it's like the Emperor is 8. Spicer's Flow is 9. And Sleep Must Awaken is 10. Also, Talaxu points also coming here. So Baron's going to look to try and end this right now. And he's got a plethora of points to score here. But it does hinge around him winning the conflict. Like, at 5, Friendship would be 6, Talaxu 7, Sleep Must Awaken would be 8, and Spice Must Flow would be 9. He can't really get to 10 points without... Yeah, it's hard for him to get to 10 points without some help here. Pretty nice for him, though. Oh, he used Fopter, so he can't, like, take troops and then deploy them in with Fopter, unfortunately. So, I wonder what Baron's going to do here. How he intends to get the 10 points outside of conflict. Oh, it's too slow. Oh, it's too slow. He could have saved it. But that's not going to do the job. And Beast can steal. And Beast surely is going to steal here. There's a brutal triple bump for Ekaz. It's going to be probably pretty mortal as well. Helena now gets the spice. She's now readying herself up potential highliners. Oh, I don't know if I like this, Helena. I know it gets you bribery. But now how are you going to get your Talaxu point? Here comes Finesse. 1, 2... And he realizes, he's like, oops, shoulda sent it there. A brutal steal, and Fremen is still good for Memorcore this year as well, so that is a disaster for Ekaz here. He's in real trouble. And the path is clear here for Heretic to win this now. It's not guaranteed, but I think this is over. War Chest is coming, he doesn't have to save it. And I don't see how this is going to be stopped. All manner of problems here. Ekaz is surely going to have to go Hardy Warriors with something as a dispatch. But that is a horrendous loss of an alliance. And you'll notice suddenly, no immediate action. He's got both plans. He could dispatch... the thing is, he needs a second research bump. So he's just going to try and draw his way out of trouble here. He's desperately trying to find an experimentation so that he can send that somewhere and then get, so he can score his scientific bravery. He does find one. So Ekaz is in some trouble here. Helena conspires. So that will pay for the, so that's going to pay for bribery. Oh, now she finds Mahayim, but it's not helping. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. She's short on Spice Must Flow. Beast is just going to take the point here and hope someone stops Blue. Strong Army picks up, but... Ooh, I would have considered Strong Arming there. That was actually a really good spot for you to get your memo quarters ready. Baron's just going to win this game, right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. He's going to go Carfag to pick up his Spice Must Flow. And I think this is over. I think this game is just over here. Heretic's going through, surely. Unless something bizarre happens. He's had a very clean run of it. No one's really gotten his way. Red picked the fight with Yellow. Yellow responded. And they're just hoping that Baron's not going to be able to score a ton of points here, but he's about to score a ton of points. They know the Talaxi points coming. They know he's got at least 8. Oh, but Helena comes in with Test of Humanity. But it's not going to stop Baron. He's not going to be able to score the Spice Must Flow. Well, he can still score it. Dissecting now can be dropped, and he just plates the specimens. He's still good here as Baron. In fact, he even drops the troop. He's that confident he's going to win this. No one's put anything in here. This is over. This is just over. 7, 8, Sleepers 9. And unless someone's going to magic a victory out of nowhere, it's all over. I would say probably the move for Baron was the Haga Basin before he went shipping to pick up Shuttle Fleet was definitely, I think, the move there. He's had decent intrigues as well, but it is what it is. Weber Power as well, finding that off of the redraw as well was absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. And they all know. Ikaz suddenly feels, oh god, how do I stop him from winning this game? And, well, all you can do is go Carfag and get 2 intrigues and hope you somehow hold and you somehow find a way to win this, but you've no alliance. He's off to Hardy Warriors instead. But there's nothing to do here. There is nothing to do. This gets him his intrigue. Private Army is found. That's going to fill him with some hope. Oh my god, is he actually going to win this? No! Oh my god, he's going to steal it. How in the world did he just find Private Army? That's unreal. That's about the only card in the game that keeps us going. Reinforcements, I guess, also would have done it. Well, hold your horses. There is distance yet. Baron's going to chuck everything at this, but it's going to go on here. And also, now the Bene Gesserit Alliance is in danger. Well, this looked all sewn up for Baron Harkonnen. And he's got plans within plans as well, which he's got a point for. And all of a sudden, Armady Kaz has become favourite. Out of nowhere, really. Insanity. This was all over until Armady Kaz found Private Army. An insane draw. But it keeps the game going. And there's the Vicious. And Ikaz is going to steal this from out of absolutely nowhere. And all of a sudden is favourite to win here. What an insane intrigue draw that was. I think there's literally 2 private armies. Reinforcements. And that was about it. Double cross, then ambush was a tie. Insane. Like, 3 out of about 50 wins in that, and he pulls it. That is so brutal for Heretic. He's going to be sick when he watches this back. And so we carry on. Arrakis. We keep going. It's round 8, and now, who knows? But Ikaz is massive favourite, but he needs a spacing bump. Oh, but the Bene Gesserit's history. Which means Helena can't have used for humanity. Oh, this is terrible news. I think Helena's only best bet here is she's going to have to mime before humanity to get a spacing bump and then just chuck it in with highliners and hope that somehow it'll work itself out. But, like, what are you going to do? Well, Ikaz is going to take this alliance. He's going to get to 11 points. He's going to draw a bucket ton of cards. He'd probably buy Spice, and with Chow Murky as well. I think Ikaz is just going to win this game. If he could find any way to raise the money, he could also get the Talaxu point. Baron decides not to just go up and down and take wind traps, interestingly. Guess he's happy just to leave it where it is. What do you consider maybe taking artillery? I don't know. So, here goes this alliance. Helena's going to be... It feels pretty unlucky. Ikaz tries to min-max it. Finds Choam shares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all singles. No spice must flow. But he finds access to fold space. Horrible spot for Helena here. I think Helena's only bet she can do is she has to go mining and she has to highline and hope that something crazy happens, but... I mean, it was the end, Heretic. It was the end until Private Army got picked up. You're so unlucky to have not won this game. Like, this was signed, sealed, and delivered. And a kind of freak intrigue draw from Ekaz. Even a tie, Baron would have been okay with. Baron still would have been favourite if it had been a tie. It would have been close. Madness. So Beast is going to go up and down. He's going to go use this. He's going to bump down to... Oh, Beast has got a weird spot here. I mean, Beast has to go down for the... Oh, I thought he was going to go for the influence bump. Yeah, I feel awful for Baron here. I really do. I feel really rotten for him here. He's just going to draw a load of cards. He's just going to chuck it in. There's not much else for Baron to do. He picks up Sage Incident. It's a huge intrigue. It's a point. He can negotiate as well with his troops, so he can score a couple of points and get to 11. But Plans Within Plans is going to end it here. And Ekaz can also just go Chom shares and just pick up the money here. And also, Scientific Breakthrough is also coming. This game is just over. There's still things to fight for here. Remember, there are a handful of best scoring second places. The 3 best second places across these 11 matches will also qualify, so there's definitely that to fight for. Does this to get hold of this point in the end? It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, the Ekaz is just gonna... It's pretty over here. And the players now know it, so they're fighting for second. Daze is just gonna... He's gonna play the part of spoiler here. It's about all he can do. Helena can't even get hold of the... Can't even get hold of the Talaxi point now. Beast has no water. Yeah, Beast has made a mess of this. Beast has like vague hopes of getting through, but the problem is Ekaz is already at 12 points to Chalmurky, so they know the game is over. Unless you can somehow manage to beat Helena, but Helena looks like she's probably going to win this. Stilgar's around, could have intrigues as well. Beast races run. What an insane draw from Ekaz. Like, absolutely... completely nuts that he found that. Beast has nothing. Beast can't get memo quarters because Basin's been taken. He had no water. And he's got nowhere to get more troops in. The only thing he can try to do... He doesn't even know how to play experimentation. He's no water. God, this is brutal for Beast. I think all Beast can do is steal suits, take 2 water, and use experimentation and trash one of his intrigues, like Strong Arm. That's only 7. This isn't even Spice Must Flow's the problem. He's going to use this to get hold of wind traps. He just wants to get to Hager Basin. Someone can be really cool and block that. That's the only problem is I preferred going steel suits. But he's trying to give himself the best possible chance of somehow finding a Spice Must Flow here. He's in Hail Mary territory, really. Baron needs a miracle. Gunfopter is a good place to start. Diversion is no good. Baron needs a miracle to win this. He has to somehow win this conflict. But how does he ever win it? Ekaz will just fold space. Now they know he's got plans. Now they know it is completely over. Helena, I think her best move is to... I guess you just go Hardy Warriors. It's +1. It's 3 swords, or this is full strength at Hardy Warriors, and it's also a place to block. Ooh, research station. She feels she has to do this to try and get hold of the Talaxu point. Wow. Well, well, well. Can Baron Harkonnen find something here? Oh my god, is Baron Harkonnen going to steal the win? Helena feels she has to go for everything. But doing this might well let Baron sneak a win here. There's a free intrigue at Fufuf here as a bonus. Finds the spice must flow. But Baron now has license to go Hardy Warriors. What does Beast do here? I think he's just going to go Hardy Warriors himself. Yeah. He's just got to chuck in whatever he can here. But he knows he can't win it. It's a bit forlorn. And this is pretty bad for Baron. He knows he's going to stage. He doesn't need to put any more troops in. You've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could go selective breeding. Selective breeding gets you your Bene Gesserit point, gets you to 10. Stage is 11. You might find Spice Must Flow that gets you to 12. Of 12 points, you'd think you've got a decent chance of maybe making the next round anyways. It seems like that's the best move here. He was initially intending also just to retreat with Negotiate, but if you got Stage Incident, I would just go Spice Must Flow here. Both your your convincing's in there. Both daggers are out. I feel like I'm going selective here. Obviously, you're intending to use Negotiated, but you got staged, so you don't really need to put more troops in. You know you're not winning this conflict. Once Hardy goes, that's it. It's cooked. Like, you're losing to someone here. So for me, it's selective breeding. Gunfopter lets you at least get an intrigue out of this. Maybe you find plans yourself. Maybe you find Grand Conspiracy's a point. Call the Market would be worth currently, if you can score Spice Flow, no one else does. Like, Call the Market's a point for you. Possibly 2. I feel like the only way you've got any remote chance of winning this game is through selective. Although you have to assume Ikaz probably has plans with that fold space here, and so you're just trying to score as many points as you can at this point. For me, it's selective. It's a guaranteed 2 points. Sometimes you get a third. Are you really going to win this conflict? How are you going to do it? You'd have to go like Arrakis or something. You can't get more intrigues. There's nothing else to score. You're only going to retreat your troops and negotiate it anyways. I guess arguably you could say going Arrakis and putting them in is going to... But then you're staging and using Gunfopter, so you're losing an intrigue anyways. He's trying to decide like tiebreakers, basically. But I think selective, sometimes you find that extra point. And I think that's important here. I think that'd be worth to go for. 11's pretty strong. 12 is I mean, you're going to make it through with 12 points. So I think for me it's selective. If you don't find it, it's not a big deal. Sometimes you get there. 8. There you go. That'll cheer him up. And he found Web of Power as well as a little bonus. Not that it really makes any difference, but he's got it, so yeah. I mean, that was Baron's best move. By a distance here. Nothing for Ikaz to do. Ikaz knows he's good. Game's over. He's through to the next round. Helena finds ambush to set him down. But yeah, that was an insane draw for Ikaz, that. to find that private army was absolutely disgusting. Leonard's going to score probably 4 points here. It's a sad end for Beast. It's a very sad end for Beast here. It's been a tough game for him. And that's the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, losing that from an alliance was absolutely nasty. He did his best to recover, but Baron just got off really strong and would have won the game if it wasn't for how it went down. So Spiceless Flow. Baron will be happy with his second place. Heretic very likely to find his way through to the next round as well. Did enough good work in the start of the game. Bumps. Irrelevant, really. And then the Sage will come in to cement it. So, yeah. Crazy round 7. Insane draw. What are you going to do? Baron did the best, made the best of the situation. But Captain West will be through to the next round. It will be over for Daze. And Vaseline as well. Nothing they can do. Couple of endgame intrigues to be found here. One for yellow, one for blue. But I don't think there's any way for Baron to catch, obviously. Second wave for Beast is nothing. And Baron will not find anything either. So, yeah. Should have been through hard way. You'll have to wait for results now. But he's probably favourite to make it. I mean, to be honest, Heretic, it really wasn't. You had that game won until he pulled that last intrigue.
Yeah.
Literally found it at the death, and there was 3 cards that win him the conflicts, and that was one of them. Both private armies and like reinforcements.
Mistake, yeah.
Everything else, like even if you tie, you're probably still in decent shape.
No, because that was my mistake because I lost the troop and I could afford to lose a card.
Yeah, that was true. You did sack the troop off, indeed, immediately.
Yeah, that's the troop that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But I mean, yeah, you felt you were pretty common position. Like it was still an insane intrigue draw. Like I mean, you were so not likely to find that. I mean, to be fair, with 12 points, like you're probably still pretty likely to get through to the next round, anyways. But yeah, that was like the game. Other than that, like the game was just a complete waltz, really, until that happened. At least it seemed that way to me.
I don't know if you had the plans then. I don't know how much you would score. You had like 7, right?
If I played like slightly differently, if I was not expecting you getting 10, even if you win. So
No, I was at 9. I was at 9. I would be 11. It would be 11.
Like I didn't expect these two. Yeah, like I forgot about web for some reason and the intrigue. Yeah, obviously. So I could have played this, and I would have aimed for 10, I believe.
Yeah.
And I would have won on Chomarki.
No, you wouldn't. I would be at 11.
Oh, 11. Yeah,
you wouldn't win that.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying, I wasn't expecting this one, even if you won the combat.
Because I was at 9, and winning combat is 11.
Yeah.
And plus, yeah, I had the point, but it wasn't active, the one that I used. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, war chest. Well, like I say, even if he forces he pulls like another ambush and ties you, like you still feel pretty confident you're gonna win the game. It was just insane that he drew private army. Like that was just an absolutely ridiculous pull.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything about that. Like I think I probably dropped the troop to, you know.
Yeah, but the problem was later I realized that I could get a point because I had 3 specimens anyways. So
yeah, you were getting that. Yeah, you were always getting to like minimum 9, but you wanted to obviously end the game there.
I could drop the one that gives the bump.
Yeah, you're saying is you should have dropped something else to just win the combat, give another point, and just call it 10 and probably just win anyways, I suppose. But which is fairly true. I'm not gonna debate that. But yeah, I mean, other than that though, like yeah, you just like had a pretty clean run of it, and outside of that, you go through anyways. But now you've obviously got to wait for other results. But I'd figure with 12 points, a load of resources, like you're fairly likely to get through as the fastest loser. It's not as good a draw, but that's the way it goes, I guess. But yeah, it was an insane draw for Captain West. That was madness.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure.
But to be fair, you had free shipping the whole game.
Like, it's literally what, 2 private armies, reinforcements, I guess blackmail.
Yeah, blackmail.
Although I don't know if you'd lost the Emperor Alliance at that point, so.
Yeah, I did. I lost
it.
it on the previous round. Yep.
But it's still like 4 out of like 50 at that point. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, it was pretty lucky. I'm not saying it wasn't.
No, yeah.
That definitely was lucky.
Yeah, so I wouldn't feel bad, Billy. Like, you can't do much about it. It's just the way it goes occasionally.
Yeah, but you had a free shipping though.
Oh yeah. To
be fair.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Like, it was uncontested. For,
like, everyone was ignoring it. I was like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah, that was pretty uncontested.
Well,
so.
to be honest, that was because of my position, because I was 4th player, so...
I mean,
Beast passes them. Yeah, it passes
Beast
them.
Beast could have done, but Beast didn't want to because he
had that's he could have done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in round 2, like he had to go Hardy Boys when he did, 100%. Like I totally get Yellow doing that. That was the right move. But yeah, you just can't always bet and say, oh, it must be them, because like Beast has got other shit to do. And he doesn't find a lot of access. Also, as like Baron's all like ripping the road and finding web of power as well is like, pretty insane. So
yeah, you couldn't block me there, Lord.
No,
it was impossible because I go either full space or the Hardy.
No, full space was the right thing because he guaranteed the shipping. Like definitely, 2 of these spaces would be taken on the 2nd round.
Well, Gratz player, you're riding on my mistake. Yeah, that was a stupid thing that I did. I just realized later. Oh no, I'm gonna lose by 1 sword.
I mean, you weren't for the longest time. Like it was over, bar a freak draw. Is what it is. You got yourself to 12 points, so like it'd be. I know what you mean, but like I wouldn't be that annoyed.
Yeah, because the Baron rides on intrigues. That's his undoing or his thing. Yeah. You have to pull good intrigues.
And I'd say you over the run of the game, I'd say you ran reasonably alright with them.
No, actually, I'm satisfied with the intrigues. They were quite good.
Yeah. You ran far with that, so.
Until the end, yeah, of course.
But at the end, like it's always a punt. It's always a punt. Anyways, right, I'll let you go. I've got stuff sorted out.
Thanks again. That was good.
Here is the confirmation of the results of the match here. And yes, indeed, Captain West will get through as the winner of the knockout. He is through to the 2nd round. A matchup against this guy again. Miru and Chief Ciel awaits him in 2nd knockout K. Heretic with 12 points, a lot of resources, is going to be probably likely to claim a fastest loser spot here to find himself into the 2nd round, although he's going to have a worse draw as a result of it. He's going to have to deal with probably some pretty good players. If he does make the fastest loser spot, the top one, it's Luca, Cherry J, and the winner of Knockout D will await him in the 2nd round. But there's still like another 8 matches to go, so he's far from certain. It unfortunately will be the end of the tournament for Daze and Vaseline. Some interesting comments and analysis, I think, from Heretic there. It's an interesting point raised. I did forget about the fact, obviously in the speed of everything going on, that he did lose the conflict by a sword, and he did opt to lose a troop off Test of Humanity. Now, it's an interesting spot, isn't it? I guess, obviously in hindsight, you don't do that, but in the moment, like, it just feels pretty natural to get rid of the troop, because you've got so many other points to score. But it is interesting to note that, yeah, if him sacking off the troop, he was only ever going to get to 9 and still had to win the conflict. Maybe it was a better move for him to just simply give up one of the ways of scoring that round, like an intrigue or something like that. And with the intention of just putting everything in the conflict. Because if you still win the conflict, you still get the 10 points, the game still ends, and you're still fairly likely to win. Like, at that point, Ekaz is at 7 points. He's not got his Talaxu point. He's not cashed in Scientific Breakthrough. And Plans Within Plans was maybe a point at most. So, I guess he's got a point. Maybe just classic Baron Greed with his bits and pieces thinking, of just trying to score many points. But it goes to show, that it's in the knockouts, and it's certainly a very good reminder for people playing in this sort of format that it's not a group stage anymore. It doesn't matter how many points you score. All that matters is that you win. It reminds me quite interestingly of someone I know. This is a bit of a sidebar, so bear with me quickly. But there's someone I know who I do a lot of, like, obviously stuff with Dune, obviously doing this coverage and stuff. But I also do a lot of video gaming as well. My own personal channels about that, a lot of horror games, that sort of thing. And there's someone that I know, I won't name him for his own purposes, who does bits of speedrunning here and there. Speedrunning is where, like, you go into a video game with the intention of just trying to beat the game from start to finish as fast as humanly possible. And that's what they do, obviously trying to set the best times. Well, he got involved in a competition, which was a speedrunning competition, where it wasn't about who could set the best time, but it was players going against each other to beat the other persons that they were playing at that point. And so the focus of that is, instead of trying to beat the game as fast as possible, what you're actually trying to do is just beat the other person. What your actual time is doesn't necessarily matter, as long as it's quicker than the other guys. The reason I'm breezing this up, and I think it actually relates quite interesting to this, I think it's a very important lesson to learn about this game, which I do see on occasion. He was in, like, one of the rounds, and he was about, like, 2-3 minutes clear on this person. It was Resident Evil 2, I believe they were playing. He was well clear of it going into the very final boss fight. Now, when you do speedrunning, you take lots of risks, obviously, to try and beat the game as fast as possible. You go for everything with, like, no health. You don't pick anything up to save time. Well, he was really far ahead of his opponent, but before going into the final room in the boss fight, he decided to take no health with him whatsoever, even though there was plenty of air to him, and he went into the final room to fight the final boss, and he died. And that was his run completely toast, which meant the other person, they would just to play it safe, take loads of supplies in, and be nice and safe, come on, get through. The lesson I'm trying to teach here, and I think it's very interesting looking back at this, is that Baron didn't need to score 11 points. He only needed to score 10 and win the game, because Ikaz was not catching him. And so him opting to lose that troop to, to get more points doesn't matter. This is no longer the group stages. It doesn't matter if you score 10 points, 11 points, 50 points. All that matters is that you win the match, you move through to the next round. And I guess that's one of the things when you go from a group stage into this sort of format, where sometimes players will try and score loads of points, and take unnecessary risk. And maybe Baron should have just said, you know what, I'm not going to score my specimen point this round. I'm going to give up the card for the Spicemas flow, because winning the combat is more important than just closing the game out. Because if I win with 10 points or 11 points, it doesn't matter. What should matter is winning the match. And I suspect that's what annoys Heretic. And it's a very interesting point raised. He will most likely probably go through as a fastest loser spot, I would imagine. And it doesn't boil just down to that. Like, he got a pretty clean run of most of this game. And Ikaz still had to draw an insane intrigue at the end there. Like, I think 4 intrigues win Ikaz that fight out of a deck of about, 50 cards at that point. So completely insane that he found it. But I guess Baron could have just closed it out and didn't, and caused himself this hassle. So, an interesting lesson to watch that there and see it happen. I can understand his annoyance. And, that's something that'll probably bug him for a little while. But, he did everything he needed to do, should have got through cleanly, and here we are. Insanity. Quick mention for the other ones as well. Beast, brutal game for Beast. Really, really tough for Vaseline. Just couldn't quite get off it. Was getting immediately put into kind of tricky spots straight away, because the rest of the table were doing nothing about Baron. Helena, tried to get things going, but just couldn't find much with alliances. The Spiceless Flows are getting there. Just didn't find any bonus additional points in the end. It was definitely a tough spot for them. But yeah, fair play to Ikaz for keeping himself in it, fluking the intrigue draw. Pretty unlikely victory. And he'll be very ecstatic to get through the next round. Because by all rights, he was looking like he was going to go out here. But a 1 intrigue draw absolutely changed that. Crazy stuff. So thank you all for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you've maybe learned a little something from the way this game ended. Sorry, my commentary wasn't the most accurate. And they go really fast. It's hard to track. It's a thing. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll see you in the next conflict.